I did not watch Fear the Walking Dead last week. I caught up with both episodes before this hangout, and I am a fan of the show. It's not it's not a it's not appointment TV for me, but I'm interested to see where things go, and I feel that there's enough of a structure surround. Or I there's like bare bone structure around it, and it's very slow burn. But I don't think this series has gotten out of control. I don't feel like it's aimless. I'm interested to see where it goes. I like enough of the acting. I think some of the characters make questionable decisions, like some lesser versions of The Walking Dead have, and that's starting to get to me by the second episode. But overall, I thought the pilot was stronger. The second episode felt like it was getting a little bit better, and then took like 2 steps back for every better thing it did in terms of character and such. I like the direction. I feel the like the actual physical direction and cinematography of the episodes is more in line with the better versions of The Walking Dead through those seasons as well. Not like the stale camera movements that just kind of like point A, point B, point C. It feels more alive. Or at least the pilot I felt was very engaging. It was engaging for a TV pilot, and I like this. Obviously, wasn't a nod to Hannibal, or maybe it was. I don't know, but I want every horror genre pilot TV show to have someone utter the words, "They're eating them." Like that's just that's what I want in life, because that's been happening a lot. And you know, our beloved Hannibal. Yes. But enough on that. Fear the Walking Dead. I'm enjoying it. I hope it continues to. It's the first season, so there's going to be some kinks. You don't always get like a first season like Lost or the first season of The Walking Dead. It just doesn't happen that often. So I'm into it, and I will definitely be continuing to watch it for these TV hangouts.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I liked the newest episode. Actually, I personally felt like it might have just been me, because it seems like a lot of people disagreed, but I kind of felt like the pilot dragged a little bit more than I was thinking. And maybe it's just, and I know that I have been getting ahead of myself with the show, which I think is something that kind of everybody runs into at some point if you're coming off the Walking Dead train to Fear the Walking Dead. I definitely am still, I'm a big fan of Madison, and I like her kind of as a leading lady. I mean, she's got a very solid head on her shoulders for what it's worth. Like, she has been dealing with this business like a champ. I mean, arguably she's seen a lot more than most people that we have encountered have, like, ends up, spoiler alert for the second episode, of course, but having to bash in the skull of the principal, she figures that out pretty dang quick, that you gotta go for the head. So yeah, it's like there were some good decisions in terms of quick thinking and reacting to what's in front of you. And sort of what happens with Madison is she goes like extreme mother bear, protective, just pretty much putting the house on lockdown. Originally, the plan is that she's going to take off with Travis and they're just going to get out of here because who knows what the crap is going on. But it's arguably pretty bad. And then everybody gets split up and stuck, and it's kind of frustrating. But I mean, I think it'll be a source of interesting tension as things progress. I mean, something about the latest episode that kind of shook me was just how, like, almost kind of relevant it was trying to be in terms of how people were perceiving the violence against the undead, like people not knowing what's going on yet, just the varying degrees of not knowing whether it's ignorant bliss or misinterpretation or just a different interpretation entirely. And so there's kind of this like police violence tie-in with, the cops know more than they're letting on, as is evidenced by the guy who's filling up the back of his cop car with water. That was kind of a little bit ominous. It's like, okay, so here you are supposed to be protecting the people, but clearly you're loading up for, to hold down your own fort. Okay. And then people are getting shot on the streets and there's rioting and all this crazy stuff. And yet it almost the way that this show goes about it, it doesn't feel that far off. I mean, it's not like Rick Grimes waking up weeks down the line. It's sort of weird to see things as it's happening. Too many times I can say that word. Yeah, but I like it too. I like it too. I think it's pretty engaging. Definitely got that slow burn feel, but I think that I'm up for it. And I think it's kind of necessary too for us to sort of feel like, what might it be like coming from the outside in, instead of, Rick Grimes in this little cocoon, like a beautiful wounded butterfly emerges into the horrific world of terror. It's more like seeing the insanity as it goes down, and then who rises up and how it's all going to go down. Yeah, I think there's some pretty decent characters so far, some kinds of silly decisions and just things that have made us roll our eyes in the past, like, come on, just leave it be, let it go, please. But it makes enough sense to where it doesn't piss me off as much as certain things have pissed me off in the past. Also kind of funny having that Tobias kid in the school who's just like, look, I know how this goes down. Trust me. I've watched The Walking Dead. He seems like that guy. But I like him. I feel like we might see him further down the line, and he'll be all like set up and maybe go cross country and join the crew in Alexandria. But,
I was actually thinking that too.
Yeah, because he is just like, bam, survival from the get-go. I mean, he's got his knife before anybody even knows what's going on, and ultimately gets that back. So that's cool. But yeah, so I think pretty good start. Definitely hard to compare to Hannibal at this point, because it's
that's not even fair.
It's just a little fawn getting up on its tumbly legs, but we've been walking with the stag of darkness for 3 years now. So that's kind of tough.
Yeah, let's just transition right into it. I guess really quick wrap up on Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, Cliff Curtis is good. Alicia Devnam Carey from The 100. I really like her. I don't think she has much to work with right now, but I think she's still good. Yeah. And Kim Dickens owns this show for sure. Yeah. Kim Dickens and Cliff Curtis, when I heard they were announced in the cast as the leads, I was like, okay, now I have to watch this show, even though the Fear the Walking Dead is a whatever title. It's a fine title. Nothing. I have no strong feelings about it one way or the other. But yeah, I think it's worth checking out. So just reiteration of last week. Yes, watch Fear the Walking Dead. Talk to us about it.